Hold on to your butts.
Why do you want to listen to the TV with the stereo on?
Because I like to party.
You know, what you need is some of that hysterical perspective, you know what I mean?
You don't tell your pappy how to cut the electorate. We ain't one at a time in here. We're mass communicating. Oh, yes. That's a powerful new force. Take a leg, Junior.
But when I say his name, everyone knows. Carolina Chuck.
How does that work? Are we clapping something off?
So,
Clap on.
I'm scared to clap on. Take one. Take
here we are in KB's Bakery in Clover, South Carolina. It's like the poppin' thing.
yeah, that made me feel bad about the little goodnight thing.
Oh,
Just do another
He
one.
felt so bad.
Just
Then
take
do
it.
another one.
Take it real quick.
I liked it. It was pretty good.
and you guys can all catch this special edition. Let me say goodnight to my wife on the air.
All right, here we go.
Oh, Nicole, you're going to be famous now. We're in the bakery. I love you. Sweet dreams. And I will talk to you and see you here in a bit. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
All right, so what the heck is KB stand for?
Kimmy and Brody.
Her kids.
I started this, I told you, like 10, 11 years ago. And I didn't have Demi
Before
yet.
number 3.
Yeah.
Really?
And I literally, I mean, I was young. I think I was only
Yeah.
like,
It was like a win. Like
11
you
years
just
ago.
started it on a
Yeah.
win.
I've been
so
Chris has been buying cakes from me for a
long
very
time.
long time.
Well,
Since
Brody's about to be 12, and I started when he was 1. So it's almost an 11. This coming June will be 11 years.
because I've got a bunch of pictures of my kids growing up,
Yeah.
and there's your cakes. They're right there, all these
No,
fancy
it's
looking
crazy. I
cakes.
started
Yeah.
with people at their before they got married, and then their wedding cakes, and then their gender reveal cakes, and then the smash cake, and then the first birthday, all the way up. Like literally was with them before their wedding. It's insane.
that's precious.
So how did you get into baking like that?
So her sister-in-law used to make cakes. She still does, but she made like really, really
kids.
cute cakes. And we were at, I think it was Mason's first birthday party, who's her oldest, who's gonna be 13. And she made him like the cutest little cake with a whale on it. And I went and I asked her about it, and she was like, "Oh, they're so easy." She's like, "I feel like anybody could do it if they just tried enough or watched videos." And literally that night, I went home, I watched some YouTube videos on it, and his birthday was in May. And for Father's Day, I worked on it for like a month, just kind of watching YouTube videos. And then that Father's Day, I made a camo cake with a deer on top for my dad, and I posted a picture of it on Facebook. And within like a week, I got like 4 people messaging me, asking me if I could make them a cake. And I did for a while, and I was like, these are terrible. Like, but everyone knew like I was just starting out, and then that's just how it started. And I just did it from them. Just kept watching more YouTube videos, and then
I was
now
about
with
to ask,
TikTok
was
and
it
stuff? It's like you can see
Everything.
so many ideas, and I'm still learning.
when
a
you
little bit better,
first, very, very first started doing it for people,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like that camo cake forward, would you say you felt kind of like a resonance there? Like, I mean, duck, meat, water. I may not know how to fully swim yet, but
Yeah.
like I enjoy this.
Yeah.
It feels like something.
Oh no,
this
I
feels
definitely,
like me.
and because I wanted to do something that I could stay home with my kids.
Yeah.
They were all little at the time. Sounds like a
Bigfoot.
I think there's some midgets wrestling upstairs. Is what's going on.
I was
right
gonna
now.
say, I have
probably
had
just
experience at midget wrestling myself.
It's a
And-
real thing. I'm
Yes,
telling
and a midget bit Christy on the ass.
oh.
Yeah, she was just sitting there, and he comes up and he bites her on the ass. Yeah,
you. Did he have to get on his tippy
Without
toes?
permission, he just
No, he
No,
was
she was
probably
sitting
just,
down.
like,
took a munch.
butt to face. It was probably a perfect height, you know.
Wow, yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Anyways,
I did that to the
that's
The
my
moment
midget
was
It
wrestling.
there.
does sound like midgets are wrestling upstairs.
Oh my goodness.
It's just Brody playing.
But
That's funny.
what is going on up there? I know you're saying there's
they
more.
have like a little speakeasy type thing up
There's
there
like a
with like a
pool
pool
table
table.
and-
It's just like a hangout.
That's-
So the owner Justin here like lets some of the kids go up there. He has kids my kids' age and
Yeah.
her kids' age, and they're all
It's
friends.
like all of our
So they
friends'
go up there
kids.
and hang
They
out
just
and
run
stuff.
up there together.
It's a cool little spot up there.
Now there are more than a couple of like connections here. So
Yep.
give us everything: business, family,
Okay.
friendships, past. I mean, Clover is a very small town, so I do feel like a lot of people that watch or listen to this will really understand kind of the relationships that
Most
can.
everybody knows us.
Well,
Well,
we've grown
yeah.
up. We've
Yeah,
grown
because
up
we
with
grew
them
up
too.
together. Yeah.
And it's a very special place because of that. I mean that I don't see this like this
Yeah.
anywhere else that I go.
It literally feels like we're in like a little Hallmark movie.
That's what she
Every
always
time I
like
say
says.
it, I'm like walking downtown and it's everyone we know, and it's like we're in a movie.
We're big like
So
every
paint
time
y'all's
I
picture.
girls. So like we watch the Hallmark movies with
Yeah.
like the downtown, all that, and she's
feels
like,
so
I can't wait
surreal.
for Christmas time down here because
Sure.
it feels like we're in a movie.
Wow.
So I met her when I first moved here from Florida when I was 15.
We were 16. I was 16.
She was one of my best friends that I first met here,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think her and my brother kind of always had a little crush on each other.
I mean,
They
I
were
don't blame her.
always-
The guy is you're talking about Captain America right now, Bryant. Yeah.
No, that's my husband.
Oh, that's your husband I'm talking about. Golly,
Captain
we'll put this is
America,
where I
yeah.
insert the
Everyone
pictures
says
of Captain
that, people are
America
like,
and
I
Bryant.
know, he's so cute.
gosh.
No, my brother's so handsome though. But
Yes.
they always like had a crush on each other, but
always
they were
connected.
literally always dating, but we were all always together, and they always had like a thing for each other, but they
Yeah.
never were single, and they finally got single one time.
No,
and
listen. We made a pact at her wedding. We were
Oh, we
both
did, you
in
did.
her wedding.
Yeah.
And we had to walk each other down the aisle, and we had a few drinks, and then we were like, "Why aren't we ever like together?" And then we were like, "By the time we're 22, if we're single, both of us, we'll make a pact now that we'll get married." And that's exactly what happened. We had
But
a baby, and
My brother needed a date
Got
for
married by
Christmas,
22.
and I said, take Amber." He's
Yeah.
like, no, and I'm like, she's finally single. Take Amber. And then within like a week, they went, and then they
Yeah.
were like inseparable since then. And then
That's awesome.
right?
my brother married my best friend. Yeah.
Hallmark.
It is.
And then we
Well,
all just started having babies at the same time.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
all of our kids were
We've
the
gone
same
through
age.
every
and-
phase
yeah.
together. Like
We've-
when I met her, it was like day one.
Uh-huh.
Like it's hard to find someone who matches your energy, and then you just instantly connect and have that. And we always did.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Who is this girl? She's new." And then we got to sleep over that night. Like
Yeah.
that was a
literally the
crazy,
day
crazy
we
thing
met
in
her.
Clover back in the day too. It's such a small town when
Yes.
we were there, at least
Yeah.
compared to now. The new kids like, oh man, fresh meat, you know.
Right? But she
Was
was
right
just
off
fun
the-
and confident, and she was quirky and weird like I was, and like we
we've
met each
never
other at
had
the football
any
game.
drama.
Never.
Like we were the only friends.
That's
that,
why
like,
we work so well together.
yeah,
we
we
don't.
never
We
drama.
just mesh. We. There's no
That's why I
conflict.
turned her into my bakerista.
Bakerista.
That's
Coin
literally
that
what I
term,
call her
that's
now.
me.
Well,
I'm a bakerista now.
you have your own stuff here in town
Yeah,
as
so
well.
I'm the boutique. I'm Happy Soul Boutique, and then she wanted me to have a little spot in here without me working here. I was just gonna have my stuff over there, and then
I fully thought I could do this alone.
Sure.
I said, I'm going to come in
And
here.
then the town
I'm
showed
gonna
up.
make my custom cakes. I'll make a couple hundred
Yeah.
cupcakes a week like I normally do at Christmas time, and it'll just be busy and it'll be fine. I had no idea it was going to be the level it was.
Right.
So I called my brother like hyperventilating, and I was like, I can't do this. Like after the soft opening was like insane, he's like, why don't you just hire Amber? Like she's there anyways, and she would love
Yeah.
to work with you. And then I called her and I'm like, girl, you want a job? She's like, yeah.
I said, "I'm here."
And then we
It's like
literally,
Scarface.
she was
Hey,
there
you
like the
want a
next
job?
day.
the next morning, and then I've been
You
here every
baked
day
like
since.
2,000 cupcakes in 3
Literally,
days.
Day one, I baked 2,000.
It was like
cupcakes
2,200
in
cupcakes,
a couple
yeah,
days.
in 3 days.
Tell us about the days before Valentine's Day.
Oh,
I was up here
that's
for
her
that,
biggest-
but
That was crazy,
Her
yeah.
biggest seller, like every year, is Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I feel like that. and Mother's
Christmas,
Day.
yeah, Christmas and Valentine's Day. Well, Valentine's
huge.
is the holiday of sweets. Like
Right.
that's the day that you spoil your loved one with candy and chocolate.
So we
and
suspected it was
cupcakes.
going to be insane. So we tried to prepare the best we could.
and how many
But
cupcakes
with
was
it
it?
being my grand opening, it was over like 2,600
All
because we
gone.
had made
In
like
one day.
Yeah, in one day we made enough for 2 days.
Yeah.
And then we sold it all the first
Sure.
day because
Right.
my brother's like, "This is your grand opening. You can't
put it
sell
all
out."
out.
And I'm like,
Right.
"Well, I'm gonna have nothing for tomorrow." He's like, "Who cares? Just keep pushing it out today." So it was
Yeah.
all gone.
That's awesome. So,
Insane.
Yeah.
when did you get to the level you're like, I need to get a store? So
Like
you
last
said,
year.
All of us pushing her.
So yeah,
It was like last year. All of a sudden, I was like, we bought
Mm-hmm.
our 4th fridge. We got a huge building put in last year, and we put 2 fridges in there, and then we put one. My husband did like a built-in for me in the dining room, and I just was like, I can't keep up in this house. I was like, I need like a real kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And then Justin, he's a good friend of ours, the guy who owns all these buildings. This came available, and he's like, this is probably the last time it's going to come available. And I had talked to people about wanting this building 5 or 6 times over the last few years. And he was like, I think this is the last time. He's like, because I'm going to turn into something, and it'll probably stay for a while. He's like, so he kind of, him and his wife were like, you can do it, and gave me the, push I needed.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
my family was like, just do it. Just
What's the worst that can
What's the
happen?
worst that can happen? And then I'm like,
Right.
well, my mind, no. It was great. It's been amazing though.
So you
and
said
the support from the community and stuff is
10, 15 years, or how long did you say you've been doing this?
it'll be
Almost 12.
11 years. Well, Brody's going to be 12, so 11 years.
So it's steadily, constantly
I
been
mean, the
growing.
first like 5-6 years was just a couple cakes here and
Right.
there. It wasn't anything crazy. And then in the last 5 years, it started really picking up. And then the last year, I was like, holy.
Now, how
How am I
like,
going to
it
keep
just-
up with what I'm
Yeah,
doing
I was
this
like,
way?
I wanted to hire someone in my house. And then I was like, if I'm going to do that, I need to just get a bakery. And
So
be
how were
legit
you
and-
selling these? Just online or?
Yeah, just through Facebook.
Just Facebook,
Literally.
yeah.
And like I told you earlier, a lot of people I started like with their weddings and then it was this birthday and this birthday and this birthday. So I probably have 600 to 700 people that are just return customers that just
Right.
every birthday, every event, every Mother's Day, Father's Day, they're just constant. So it's so nice that I've built these relationships with so many, return customers. which
Yeah,
is nice.
and I mean that will be probably generational because I mean I know some of the older
it's
kids
awesome.
will remember these when they get
Yeah,
a little bit
I
older
know, that's-
themselves and need it.
I just posted on my Facebook like a week ago. I said I had everyone send me Snapchats of or pictures of their kids with their smash cakes that I've made them. Some of them were like 7, 8, 9 years ago pictures.
Right.
And I'm gonna make like a big collage in here of all screenshots of
babies.
all the babies.
So
and they
cute.
were sending it to me, and I literally must have had like 300 pictures.
It was so.
Wow.
and they're all like 11 now
They're
and
grown.
10 now. A lot of them are like
Yeah.
grown up now. A lot of them are only like 3 and 4.
And they're
but
coming in and they're being like, "You
I
made my
know
cake."
you made my
So-
smash
So
cake when I was
sweet.
1. I'm
It's
like,
so cute.
So when a
crazy.
person goes to Walmart and gets a cake,
Not
right?
nothing.
Do you think that they get the same level of care about? Obviously, no. Like I
it
love.
depends. I mean, I feel like there's some bakers out there at Food Lion and Walmart and all that. They've been doing
That
it for so
really
long.
enjoy what they do,
Yeah, they enjoy
but
what they do, and they
just
you
small
know,
business versus
Yeah, but
big-
small business
big
is
corporates.
definitely different because it's
You don't get that
100%
connection.
custom. My brother's been hounding me for years to get a website so people could just go on and order, and I'm like, it's not as personal
Mm-hmm.
as them coming to me, telling me what they want,
Yeah.
giving me their ideas. Versus just going on a website and clicking this flavor and clicking this picture. I'm like, this isn't Sam's Club.
And that's
Like, it needs to be.
Right, right.
and
I
that
want-
has
I want all
worked
the
so well
details,
for you
you
that
know?
it's just
Connection,
kept
yeah.
scaling,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
great.
I mean, it's a lot to hear. I mean, I used to get 10 to 20 messages a week. Now I'm getting like 70 a day.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to go through with everyone asking the same question of like, how much is this? And can you do this? And that. But it's part of it. I want it to be as personal as I can. So
That's why people
I
keep
just
coming
do
back to her because she's such a likable person and her personality. She makes you feel like family immediately. It can be a complete stranger walking through the door and she's so bubbly and kind and like it keeps bringing more people in.
that's so sweet.
It is though. Like she's built she's built this little cake community for 10 years and
It's
just really
crazy
cool
the
to see.
community though. That
What
has,
would
like,
you say,
are
Amber,
so
when you
supportive.
first noticed that she was taking off with this? When did you first notice that?
She's done for a long time.
She's forever because she's so creative. She has always been creative since before cakes and stuff. And she's always been like the party planner. So anything, the hostess with the mostest, like she goes all out for every holiday, every birthday, even my kids. And
like it.
just anything she does at her house, it's like to the nines. So I never doubted her for a second. And she's such a, you're just
You
like,
and my brother have always been the ones to push me to say, do this and do. Dougie has hounded me about getting a bakery
because
for
he
a
believes in you
long
so
time.
much.
Yeah, he does.
I think he believes in you more than you believe in yourself sometimes. But you're also a go-getter. When she wants something, she just goes for it.
Sure.
No hesitation. She's just like,
But I got
"Alright,
real
I'll
bad
figure it out."
anxiety, so it's hard.
But on the
Were
outside,
you in the
you
military?
still push yourself.
You got mental issues and
A little
anxiety.
bit,
And were you in the
a little bit.
military?
No, they just come natural. Like,
Yeah,
I
oh,
don't have a
man.
reason for them.
That's
gotta
what
be
I'm here
free,
for. I just
that's
push it
all.
back down. Push it
I
back in
know.
here.
She's so positive. I'll be like, oh my God, I have this to do and this to do and this to
gets
do.
a
She's
little
like,
overwhelmed.
one thing at a time. And I'm
got
like,
this.
you're right. You're
We
totally
got
right.
it. We always get it done. No matter how overwhelmed or crazy it is, we always get it done.
I didn't get a lot done today, and now I'm stressed
Tomorrow
out.
we will.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll come here early and
The
we'll
dang
get it
school
done.
delay messed us up, man.
Oh, sure.
He's
Thank you, better.
eyeballing these oatmeal cream pies over here.
How are you coming up with
She is
where you get? Where do you get your ideas for these for
I
what
don't
you put
know.
out here.
I
She
don't
literally
know.
will
I
send me
literally just.
ideas at night, and I'm like, Carly, it's like 11:30, and I'm in bed, and she's like, we're doing this tomorrow, and I'm like, okay.
Like
So I got another three
I
episodes
just
of
see an
Stranger Things,
idea
and I'm
and I
thinking
want
about
to do it.
cookies.
Yeah, and I like.
She
I don't know why
constantly
my
is thinking.
brain always thinks like life is too short to live the same day twice. So I don't want to
Love
do
that.
the same thing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell
gets very
her
bored.
I get very bored very fast with something. So if I make a few cakes, I'm like, oh, that style's cute. Then I'm done. Then I'm like, I need a new style. Like I'm already bored with it. That's why I'm constantly
She does the same
doing
thing at her
new stuff.
house. If
I
you go
do.
to her house once a week, it's a newly decorated
I
every
changed.
single time.
I just got new furniture. It's coming on
Yeah.
Do
Saturday.
you have the time to do that in
I think
this?
that is like a mental illness. They say ADHD a lot of times is confused with anxiety. I've probably been told my whole life I have anxiety, and it's not it.
That
'Cause I
sounds a lot
can't-
like ADHD.
I can never, I
Yeah.
can't ever just like quiet it. It's but it comes out through cakes, so it works. It
Yeah.
works.
She's the cake
I'm gonna
artist.
put that in there, and I'm
The
gonna just say I was
decorator.
on the spectrum. Shut up.
Everybody is.
Everybody
And
they
I
are.
agree. Yeah, everybody is. I know I am. What are some what would you say is the most surprising thing since opening the actual shop? What did you not expect has been like the best surprise? You know what I mean, since starting out.
Yeah, the consistency. Like
Yeah.
everyone said, oh, after the soft opening, the grand opening may not be so big because the soft opening was so big, then the grand opening was bigger.
Yeah.
Then after the
Right.
grand opening, everyone's like, oh, it'll calm down. It's probably not going to be busy.
Yeah.
So the first week we opened, which wasn't last week, it was the week before, we didn't really see anybody here. And it was almost 11. And then all of a sudden, I let two women in the door. And I guess people were waiting in their car, and it
Sure.
flooded. And then it did it Friday, and then it did it Saturday. Then a few days later, they're like, it's going to slow down. It probably won't be like that next weekend. Next weekend, we opened
Yeah.
the doors. I had to call her. I was like, you have to get here. I was like, I thought it was
Y'all
going
are
to slow
selling
down.
out every
It's
day,
just every
basically.
day, yeah. So
Wild.
that has been shocking
Yeah.
to me. And also macaroons.
What-
People
yeah,
are
so-
coming
Dude.
I
out
swear,
of
I did
the
not
woodwork.
like
That both of us like
macaroons
macaroons. All right.
until I
They-
tried yours the other
That's what I
day, and I
said.
was like,
Yep.
"What the
What
heck
are
have
you-
I
That's
been
what my
missing?"
brother said. He tried one
said,
in the
"What are
kitchen.
these?"
He literally took a bite, and me and her like walked off, and he just yelled, "What is this?" And we were like, "What?" He's like, "Why have I never eaten
Give me
this?"
12 of them.
She's
right
like, "These
now.
are like my favorite things ever," and he's like, "I
Yeah.
need like 12 of these," but
God.
I did
They're
not. If
amazing.
you would have asked me
That's why I
what
tried to
was
pull
like,
that one off the
number one
cake.
seller.
yeah, if like what would be my number one thing, like
I never
opening a
would've thought
bakery, I
Macs,
would have been
but-
like cake pops or something. I would have
Sure.
never thought macaroons.
I keep saying people are going to hold us hostage and be like, give me
Yeah,
all your
I
back.
Have
can't-
you
I
heard
can't
enough
do that.
from the people that are like, what is it about them?
Everybody
They say the
just
same
said,
thing he just
there's
said.
just
They're
not
just the
homemade
best.
ones in the area. You
Sure.
have to go to like Charlotte or
Right.
Don't
I
get
mean
it from
Publix
TJ
has
Maxx.
them, but I don't know that Publix even makes them fresh. They might, but
Yeah.
you have to go all the way to Charlotte. I think they just opened up a place in Rock Hill though, Amelie's or Amelie's.
Emily's? I think
They
that's what it's
did
called.
so, and they have really good ones too. But there's nowhere around here that makes homemade macaroons, so I think
Now
it's
there
a lot more
is.
popular than I thought they were. I didn't know it was that big of a sensation, but
I didn't
So
know they
you're making
existed.
some for the art gallery tomorrow.
yeah, tomorrow, yeah.
The
I got
the
macaroons for her
curator
and
is
cupcakes.
is gonna hold me a couple. I'm gonna go there
good.
because I
Good.
get off at
Nice.
7 tomorrow.
Yeah,
I sold
made
her a
some,
card.
I have like some green ones for her that were like St. Patrick's Day colored, and some chocolate ones and different flavored ones. So she's getting a couple of those.
That means I'm getting a couple of
That
those.
means
Yeah,
that-
no. I'm gonna try and sneak some of those from the.
Like, and I've
Back
been
from
I've
earlier.
been
can.
I've been crushing the diet and the gym, man, and I'm like,
man.
so I'm not gonna eat anything.
Everyone,
Me too.
every
Oh, as I
with
try
your
this,
Mountain
so-
Dew.
I mean, the same people come daily.
Yeah.
All 3 days that we're open.
And
here,
they're all
I'm
like, "I
it's the
just
same
started my
people." And I'm
diet. I'm like,
how do we already have regulars?
I know.
It's
It's awesome
insane.
though. And I love that we're meeting all these people and
know.
learning their names because there's a
Connecting with
lot
them
of new
and-
people that have came in that have never even heard of KB Cakes, which is
Yeah.
crazy. The amount of people that I've been making stuff for so long, I didn't know there were still people that didn't know about me. So it's been crazy.
The other day I saw Bryant was talking about something when they shared an article on the new business
Yeah.
thing. His family had a business also in town.
It was actually it's Pendleton and Pendleton now.
Okay.
That law
Yeah,
firm.
yeah.
It was. I think it was. I think it was a dry
That was
cleaner.
not my dad.
That was not his dad.
I think it was a dry cleaner. I think that's what
Okay.
he said it was. But yeah, it was his mom's parents.
It's crazy
for a
how
long
how generational Clover is. Like
Yeah.
it's really
And
wild.
Bryant is like born and raised like where we live now.
Mm-hmm.
Man has never left. He's never flown anywhere. Like he is.
Except for when he was with
he
the
is
Avengers
most
in New
Clover
York. back
as
in the
Clover
day.
gets.
That one
So
movie.
he always wanted to be like. I think he's more happy for me than like anyone because he's like so proud that we're like part of this little downtown
Yeah.
area now because he loves stuff like that. So it's
His
been nice.
his mom played a big role in my daughter when she was a baby. She would babysit for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that,
She babysat
And Christy's
Christy's
little brother,
brother, Jacob.
Jacob?
oh yeah, yeah,
For
She
yeah,
had him
years,
for
right,
like
when we
yeah.
were in
probably like
high school.
5 years. Yeah.
Yep, he was there all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
He was. That's when I lived there.
Yep.
So he was
Right.
always there. I saw him
Yeah,
every day.
I
in the
remember
city.
that actually now because she would have to go pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember having to drop Lily off when she was first starting out. You know, she
Yeah.
would be nervous and
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I'd have to.
Yeah, his mom
Sweet.
loved
Brenda's the
babies.
best.
She had a little daycare
Yep.
area in there.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this like trend of reels recently talking about like the easiest way to take kids on a vacation is to bring grandma.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, absolutely. Bring
favorite
an aunt or grandma and you're straight. My mom,
Brilliant.
but she's like
It is the
the
best.
baby whisperer. It's
So-
insane.
Well, they love it too. It's like
They're
they get
always-
more
they
time with their
always-
kids and their grandkids.
They always behave better for the
Our
grandparents.
moms
too.
are amazing. We're
Oh,
so
not my
blessed.
kids. My children, they do, but my
Yeah.
brother and then my sister, their respective children,
Yeah.
crazy.
All of our kids behave really well for my mom and her mom.
They're always good for them. And I'm like, really? They
And then
live that
Brian's
well
parents
together?
live next door to us, so they literally just. I'm like, "Where's Demi?" And he's like, "She's been at my
Grandma.
mom's for like 3 hours." I was like, "Oh," and then she comes back and she's got this whole thing of cookies. They go over there and make cookies. It's so cute.
So, how are you in sourcing your ingredients and stuff like that?
What do you mean?
Like,
Where
where
you
are you
getting all
getting your ingredients? and stuff?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Anywhere you can with the
Yeah,
amount you're.
Webstaurant, Sam's Club. Webstaurant a lot for flours, sugars, all that. But Sam's Club has got it going on. They get it to my house in 2 hours.
Oh,
I can
wow.
order butter, vegetable oil, everything, and I do a speedy delivery. It's like an extra $8. They will have it
Sure.
delivered to my door in 2 hours.
That's crazy.
It's amazing.
I love Sam's Club.
I mean, they
Yeah.
have everything. But
There was
they're
car
the
fires
only
at one of
store
Gaston
right
the other
now
day.
that is limiting the eggs. Like Walmart, you can buy as many eggs as you want
Right.
at Publix, but Sam's Club being a bulk place, they will only let you buy their box of 7 dozen, and it's 1 per person. And we go through 400 a week.
Yep.
That's
That's
crazy.
That would have started a whole town in
A
the old
box
days.
of 60 eggs, let me tell you
Yeah.
all, was $8 over the summer. It is
In the summer.
$27 for a box now.
Like
And
end
I
of
bought-
summer,
I
beginning
bought
of summer. I
9
mean, that's
boxes
just
at the beginning of the
wild.
week, and I have 1 left in the fridge at home to bring here tomorrow.
That's
1 left,
crazy.
yeah. $27. It was $8.
Wow.
Sorry, kids, no college.
like-
That's insane.
But Trump just said last night he's getting a hold of what's going on with this egg situation. Hopefully
Sure.
he's going to get it down because I'm like $27 for
That's
60
wild.
eggs.
Do you have space for chickens out there? Don't you?
I mean, yeah, we have chickens
Yeah,
at
but
home.
they
but
wouldn't be able to produce enough eggs
I
for
would
us
have
to
to
use
have,
in
yeah,
a
I'd
day.
have to probably have like 100 chickens so I could
Yeah.
get like 100 eggs a day. Because right now we're going through, I can't quite do the math, but we went through 7 boxes this in 2 days so far,
Yeah.
and there's 60 in each box.
Yep.
There's a lot of eggs.
And we'll do more baking tomorrow
Yeah.
when we slow down a little bit. We always like when the
I'd
rush
have to
dies
have,
down,
I
we'll
would
go
literally
back and
have
get
to
some more
have
done.
so many chickens.
So
Yeah.
you're open on Friday, Saturday,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday.
And we opened Sunday for a couple hours this past weekend. Just
Because I had a
a
lot
couple-
of cinnamon buns that I didn't sell on Saturday, and then everyone bought them within the first
Sunday
30
was a
minutes on
great-
Sunday.
Yeah,
It's a cinnamon
it was
roll
a good
day.
seller that day.
Yeah.
Just
Everybody's, getting out of church and they
Yeah.
come by and they're getting their coffee down there and their lunch over
Yeah.
there and then they
That's
come
one
here
thing I
for
really
a-
love
Now
about
we
this part
know.
of town. I mean,
Yep.
it really has this
Yep.
particular strip has
Yeah.
done so well. You got your
I know.
drinks, you've got your cakes, you've got your
Coffee
now
shop.
your
The
games and
restaurants
stuff,
are
entertainment for kids.
I can't wait for King of Fire to come.
No.
And then Cattle Car,
Mm-hmm.
that's Justin, the guy who owns this. Him and his friend Ian are opening that together, and that's going to be amazing.
That's gonna be
Tell me about
beautiful.
that.
I'm
That's
so
a restaurant,
excited.
right?
It's going to be, yeah, like a sports bar, like
Okay.
bar and grill kind of food. They have like a
It's like
bar on the back.
gourmet burgers
Yeah.
and all
So
the things.
no joke, that's what
Gourmet
they.
burgers.
Ian is a chef, so he's got like
Yeah.
good stuff.
Do you guys have y'all heard any whispers of when that could be?
I
They're
think it's
working
gonna
hard
be
on it.
April.
Okay.
If I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
Relatively quick.
This year.
Yeah.
It was
It's
supposed.
next month.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be earlier, but
So,
everything just takes.
Cattle cars
a
are
while.
literally what I don't know if I told you this, but that's literally what they drove us around on at Fort Benning when I was in
My
basic
goodness.
training.
Oh, wow.
They smashed us into cattle cars and drove us all over that
Very
place.
sweaty and hot.
It
Yeah,
was so
that's-
gross, but it was always so cool to see one coming because I'm like, I'm about to go home.
I want to
I'm
go.
about to go home for a little bit, and then they would torture us for hours.
That's
but
gonna be awesome though. This whole strip is gonna be full
I
of.
know, I can't wait.
very useful things to
Yeah.
Yes.
booming
King of Fire is
little
gonna be
town.
awesome. It's two huge buildings, and it's.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be really nice when it gets done.
What was that?
King of Fire.
King of Fire.
That's
the
the
pizza guy.
pizza.
That's the food
Have
truck
you had
that
the food
comes here.
truck?
You've never had. King
Have
of
you
Fire?
not had
Listen,
their
I've
pizza,
only
dude?
been back for a couple of months, and I've been
Oh,
observing.
man.
it.
Back with it.
He comes here and he
amazing.
parks right out here, and it is so good.
He'll
So
be
the
there on
vault-
the Patrick's Day
I
thing,
heard you ask Brian
guaranteed.
earlier. The vault and bullpen, they don't have food, but they rent out food trucks that come a few days a week, and then people get the food, and then they go sit either at the vault or the bullpen, and they have beer, or whatever.
Okay.
So there's always some kind of food truck down here. Voodoo.
But look
food
out
truck
for the King of
comes.
Fire, dude. It is
Voodoo Wings was just
next
here the
level
other
pizza.
night. Best wings ever. Yeah, King of Fire, amazing pizza. There's It's Worth It truck. My friend
The
Lindsay.
jerk chicken. Who's that
Oh
guy?
my god.
The
They're-
jerk.
They're all so
The
good.
jerk chicken.
The jerk chicken.
It's like Caribbean.
Oh, I know what that
curry
is. I
chicken.
love
Yeah.
that.
I get the curry chicken. It is
Yeah.
so freaking
I love
good.
jerk chicken.
Yeah, it's
Delicious.
it's awesome that you can
It's
just
very
go
sweet,
there
too.
and go into these buildings, and then
Yep.
they have like music bingo. They have all kinds of cool
Or
stuff.
then they
So
do
we
the
bring the
food
kids
truck
down
Thursdays
here.
in the
Yeah.
warmer months.
Yeah,
So it's-
it's
And
it's
Parking
awesome.
Latte's always there. She's here like every day, right?
It's awesome to see
A
all
little
these
latte
little
girl.
things.
I'm pretty excited.
I know.
I
Some
mean,
really
because the
good
thing
things
is, as
coming.
I've been eating gourmet pizza in New York. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, this
now
is
I got
good.
like a thing
Yeah.
for
Up there.
pizza a little
Oh, I
bit.
want some
and
New York pizza.
I know. I want to.
Is it New York that has a deep dish, or is that somewhere else?
that's
That's
Chicago.
Chicago.
New York's thin, right?
it's
the
the thin-
thinner crust.
Yeah, but see, I don't really like the thin stuff. I like
But
it's
isn't
the
their
Sicilian
slices like
stuff. Is
huge?
yeah, they got these
Okay.
big crazy slices, but it's all right. But they got the Sicilian pizza is like square and a little bit thicker, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
That sounds
And
delicious.
then I had this thing called a tomato pie, which sound disgusting.
Oh no, I've seen that.
And
I
it's
saw
just
that on
like
TikTok the other night.
it's like a thick, saucy pizza.
That's my
but
favorite.
It was freaking amazing.
I want
And we would
the-
eat.
You will love
Saucy.
King of Fire, dude.
You will.
I mean,
Yeah. The
I'll
hot
have.
honey.
Get him on the line.
I
Let's
think
go.
it's
Yeah,
called their
man.
New York pizza or something. It has like meatballs and like big hunks of like either ricotta cheese or something. Oh my god, it is.
Well, I
so
love
good.
too seeing like the schools will contract these guys for a day,
Yeah.
and have them feed the staff
For lunches
Yeah.
and stuff.
It's just really a nice little community, man.
I
I know.
When I first came back out of the service, it was about 9 years ago, and a lot of this stuff was kind of in the works or starting to pop up here and there.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, again, it's multiple nights a week. I can take
Yep.
my kids; they can have a great time,
that
and
nice?
it's not going to kill my pocket.
No, it's awesome.
Growing up, it was never like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember coming downtown for literally nothing. Maybe
It was-
the football game.
And then after
that was
COVID,
and-
it was like a dead zone down
But
here.
now
right.
our
Is
kids-
any town ever going to work again? You know.
Right? Yeah.
Justin's been working real hard to make this a nice, cute little downtown. He wants it. He wants some life
Yeah.
down
Dude,
here. so it's
I
nice.
wish I could just like win a scratch off and get that big building in the middle of town and give it to Justin. Have him do something with
I
it. I know
know.
he
He
smashed
he
it.
wants every building around here because he's
hope
got
the
lots of
other side
ideas
tries
too.
to do
Yeah,
something.
he does great.
Because they're not on board yet.
What?
The other side, across the south.
Oh, I know. I don't know what's
I
going on.
wish they would get on board and do something, but I haven't heard any talks or any plans. So
Lots of empty.
Oh, on the other side of the light over there.
yeah.
Okay, so we had an interview
Yeah.
last week with Jason, and he owns
love
one of the
Jason.
buildings over there.
Use guys.
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
We love
And,
that.
Another New Yorkin.
Yeah,
and
he
he's
comes in
talking
here.
about wanting to put.
So I
something
was
in
gonna
there.
get the building that he had I think it was like last year, the
Mm-hmm.
2-story, the church building that he has. It's like 3 spots down from that new dental place.
Mm-hmm.
But I just didn't feel like the time was right then. I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I waited it was
Yep.
probably 2 years ago. I waited longer, and then I finally I felt like I was ready this time. I wanted to be ready then, and he took me and my mom through it, and he showed us, and I just felt like I wasn't ready yet. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that I waited because
'Cause
I
it is
needed to be
done very
fully
well.
ready to
Yeah.
commit to this, you know. So,
So when are you gonna like have a host a kids TV show, a little cooking contest. With you at the helm.
I just want to have like a little
would be so
birthday party
fun.
here, but there's like
Yeah.
there's like no room. But I would love to have like a little tea party here, you know.
Yeah.
I just saw Captain America. Oh my gosh, I did.
Right? That was them.
He calls you Captain America, you beautiful man. Where
He's-
are you?
Oh, he's getting a new nickname in town off this
Too.
episode, but he just went on
Oh my
upstairs.
gosh.
Cap.
Old Cap.
That's funny.
So how has the family? How are the families? I know I was here on the opening day. Everybody seemed just fully here for it. What do the kids think? They're super excited.
Oh, they love
when
it.
they first saw this.
Her kids think it's the coolest thing. My kids think it's the coolest thing. I have my sister who lives in Greenville, who's like my best friend. I wish she lived here
Greenville?
because
Greenville,
Greenville,
yeah.
South Carolina. She lives in Taylor's.
Okay.
But she would be like her. She'd be
Yeah.
here every day with me,
Sure.
but she lives there, so it sucks. But she's been so excited. Her husband, they've all been supportive and
And
excited.
her
Her
daughter,
daughter,
she comes and helps us.
yeah,
She's in
she'll come like
college.
once a week and just come hang out with us, which is nice. Hello.
Podcast
He called
appearance.
You just got a new nickname,
Captain
dude.
America.
Saved it. I was on a mission.
Yeah. On your left.
I was on a mission.
Yeah.
How's upstairs?
I ain't been upstairs. I was the next door.
The
Oh,
kids are up there
okay,
making
okay.
Yeah,
so
who's
much
up
noise.
there?
Who's up?
Brody, are you upstairs?
That's
Oh.
Lindsay from.
Okay. You hear him?
It's loud. I thought Brody was up there
They're funny.
throwing pool sticks around.
Yeah.
I don't know. Go see.
You eating a thing of icing right now?
Did you have a ball game
To our
today?
kids' lives.
No, he just wears baseball
Baseball
gear
stuff all the time.
24/7.
24/7. Man, I know a guy that was in Eastbound and Down.
Oh wow.
My
So somebody can
gosh.
watch when he's older.
Way older.
yeah.
That's probably the funniest show ever made.
It's a trip. It's actually my ex-brother-in-law, and he has a picture with several members of the cast. And I'm like, dude, that's a good one.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I'll go up there.
Toodaloo.
Get your Nutella out of here. Sound like Mrs. Doubtfire. I don't know. Dad's going up there. Go up there with him.
So, has anybody in your family baked in before that you started?
My nanny, my dad's mom. When she passed away, when
2017.
when Demi was born. So, I ended up getting a lot of her like piping tips and like some pans and stuff that were hers. I still use them now.
Really?
She did like more of like the old fashioned wedding cakes that were like on the stacks of like the columns with like the bridges connected. You know, like we would see like our parents or grandparents have. So, but yeah, she was really good with that.
Wow.
I never baked or anything with her, but I feel
Never
like,
did
I
it?
feel like they're She lived
the
in
gene down,
She
so-
passed the gene down.
Yeah.
The creativity must run in the family. But she lived in Maryland, so I only got to see her like once a year growing up.
Okay.
But she was amazing.
Now, do you like to do a lot of cooking outside of baking?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tired, so I don't want to make dinner.
Sure. But you're like, but I can do
We're
it.
putting
Yeah.
crockpot meals every morning. We're like,
Yeah.
what'd you put in the crockpot this morning?
Oh.
But yeah, no, I've always loved being in the kitchen, cooking, baking, all that. So,
What if we could get Gordon Ramsay in here?
oh, he's scary.
I would
Do you
cry.
want him? Yeah. All right,
terrifying.
scratch that, Charlie. No, I love like all the shows. My daughter and I will watch
terrifying.
like the little cooking
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
contests.
me and Brody watch that all the time.
They're
So he's like, you
cool.
could totally do that, Mom. You could totally do that. Go on that show. You could.
There's
do
so
that.
much pressure
It's like
with
the
those.
Harry
I would
Potter
just
one
crack.
and every other thing now.
Yeah.
There's a one on Netflix called Nailed It,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
and they're normally terrible.
Sure.
And the judges
Well,
are
you
like,
said,
"What is that?" And she's like, "I tried," but they only give them so much time, and it's
Yeah.
just it's
funny.
terrible. But it's
You had
they're
said
fun to
Mrs.
watch.
Doubtfire, and that made me think of
Oh, I
something.
love her.
Well, the lady that did Robin Williams' makeup
Mm-hmm.
is V. Neal, and she is a judge on an old sci-fi show, Face Off, where they would make like
I remember that.
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
makeup-
the makeups
special
and all
effects
that. Yeah.
makeups. It's like my daughter
That was
should
a
be
cool
like,
show.
"Oh man, V. Neal, star of, Mrs. Doubtfire and all this stuff," and fun little thing. The
bet.
creative people, man, it's fun life.
Well, speaking of Gordon Ramsay, the soft opening that we had, we did the same thing. We sold everything the first day that we made for 2 days, but it was going so fast. My brother's in the back, and he's like, "You need to get some cupcakes in the oven right now." And I'm like, "Why?" He's like,
Yeah.
"You're selling out too fast, and it's only 12 o'clock." He's like, "You just opened." I was
Yeah.
like, and we're like, "It's only 12 o'clock."
just
We
didn't
felt like we'd
realize
been
how-
here for hours.
Yeah.
So I started throwing stuff in the oven, and my brother's like, "Tell me what to do. Like, tell me how to help."
Right.
And I'm like, "Just start scooping the batter." And he
Yeah.
yells out, I'm like, freaking Gordon Ramsay in this.
Yeah.
He's
First time in the kitchen. I'm owning this.
His
Yeah.
floral apron on, and he's like
The
scooping
whole
the batter.
family was back there that
We're
day.
literally
Their dad,
shoving them
the
in
mom,
the
brother,
oven.
the grandma, the aunt, the
Everyone. My mom's friend came to buy stuff and ends up
she
in
got
the
back in
kitchen
there
Sure.
helping for like 4 hours. Like we
That's
were taking
awesome.
them from the
Yeah.
oven, popping them in the freezer
Straight
so
in the
they'd get
bin.
cold, taking them out, icing them, and shoving them out here for
The
4
line
hours.
was out the door for 6 hours straight.
It
down
didn't stop.
there.
So my brother's like,
It
you
did not
can't.
stop.
My brother was like, you cannot sell out yet. He's like, the line, these people have
They'd
been
be so
waiting. He's like,
disappointed.
start getting them in the oven, and it was just like a whole assembly line
insane.
in there.
Well,
and I
it's
was like, I
crazy.
can't do this again. So the next weekend we're
She
like,
hired me.
we gotta
All
bump
the
it up.
things.
We
She
gotta
hired
bump
me.
the cakes up
Yep.
because
I was right
It was
behind
crazy.
y'all's brownie fan.
Oh
And I didn't think anything about what y'all just said.
Yeah.
But when I came in, it was about an hour and a half after the opening was where my spot in the line finally got in there, and the back was as full as the front. I mean,
Yeah.
it was crazy. It was
Yeah.
crazy in here.
it was crazy.
Good
Yep.
for
And like
y'all.
that night, I like panic set in because I'm like, I can't do this every weekend. I can't like have a full case and like people flying in and be baking and shoving stuff out. Like,
Right.
so that's when I was like, Amber, like I need you, and then we need to like quadruple what I did last weekend because it has to last for 3 days.
Yeah.
So that's why like when I opened this, I had originally said I'd be open Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Right.
And everyone's like, that's crazy. Like you need to be open at least Tuesday, Wednesday, and da-da-da. And I'm like, we have to physically make
They don't
this
realize
stuff.
how long
And it's not
it
just,
takes.
and people also are kind of getting mad that we were selling out so fast. And I'm like, I don't think people realize that it's as many items as it is. Like it's
Sure.
thousands of cupcakes, thousands of brownies, 700-800 macaroons. It's not like I'm making like 100 cupcakes and I'm like, darn it, we
First
sold
come,
out.
first
It's
serve,
like
guys. Yeah.
thousands of
Yeah.
items that are
Man.
going in
Right.
hours, like
Right.
hours. The first day we were sold out in 3 hours and it was over 4,000
like
items.
One customer's buying
Yeah.
24 of something.
And you're
instead
still
of
making custom cakes.
Still
Yes.
making custom cakes, yeah.
birthday
So
cakes, wedding cakes.
it's a lot.
Baby showers. All
And
the
I'm gonna
things.
have to hire somebody else too, because if something happens to her or she gets sick or something, I'm like, I need a backup.
no sick
Well,
days.
did you have any experience in a kitchen prior to coming to
I mean,
this?
I'm like,
She's a good cook.
I'm a
Right.
good cook. Like I'm
And that does go a
naturally-
very long
and she's
way.
very
Sure.
organized. She's always been
Yeah.
like super organized. So I feel like she just kind of
Yeah.
jumped in, and she's very clean. She's very organized. So she just
She just
fell
taught me
right
how to
into
do
it.
it day one, and then
Yeah.
I just go. She hasn't.
after her first tray, because I scoop it and plop it in like so fast, like
Yeah.
what you were watching her do today.
My cupcake.
And
keeper.
she did like her first tray, and she shoved it in the oven. She's like, "All right, I gotta get faster."
get faster.
And like
Sure.
she
I'll
literally
challenge
went
myself.
over, and then she just from that moment on, she just started doing it faster, and she's been great. So now I gotta teach her to ice the cupcakes
Yep.
and all that. So
And
getting there.
yeah,
and you like the brownies, but you're not too much of a sweet person yourself, right?
cheesecake and brownies
That's
though.
Cheesecake
are
and
really
brownies,
good.
you're
I
a
will
sweet
eat
person.
every single thing in this bakery.
Sure.
Top to bottom.
Yeah.
I will eat everything. She will. She literally will.
Starting with,
gotta
it's like the
stop.
office with
She
Meredith. He's like, "Wow."
Oh man.
Good stuff.
So how did you get into doing your own boutique?
Okay,
Yeah.
so this was just like a silly dream of mine, and I literally had it in my phone notes. My husband didn't know about it. We were on a road trip one day, and I was just talking to him about things, and I was like, Charleston's like our favorite place. That's our town we would love to live in one day, and we go there a lot.
Mine too.
Huh?
Mine too.
You too?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so my husband's a fisherman and all that, so we're there a lot. And we were on the way to Charleston, probably. I don't remember where we were going. It was a beach. And I started telling him about my idea to have a boutique one day. I was like, I want to live by the beach, have a boutique, go get coffee with you on our lunch break while you're at your little fish shack down the road. And he's like, why aren't you doing that now? Like, start it. And then within like 3 weeks, I had a whole business started.
Really?
So, yeah.
But she also doesn't give herself credit either, and she's always been creative, and she's always wanted to do something.
I just like clothes.
She's tried
I like
a few
fashion.
things over
Yeah.
like the last like 10 years. She tried being like a vlogger one time,
Oh,
but then
God.
she shuts herself down because she's like,
Yeah.
well, I'm stupid or that's stupid and I can't do that. And I'm like,
The
you
imposter
gotta
syndrome
just
is a
do
terrible
it.
thing. Who
Yeah,
am
and
I
I'm
to
like,
do
you gotta
this?
second
I
guess
hate
myself.
that
She would like
thing.
send me Snapchats and she's like, I just made a whole 5-minute video of me trying on outfits for the boutique to post, and she's like, I deleted all of them.
Well,
I'm
then you
like,
feel stupid and you get
so
in your
yeah,
head, and I'm not,
but she doesn't realize how adorable she is, and all her stuff's adorable, and she's very creative too. So
Do you have a
Yeah.
website?
I do.
She does.
HappySoulOriginal.com.
she does.
Say it again.
Happy Soul Original is all my platforms.
Okay.
I have a website and my Facebook, my Instagram, all that stuff. And then the boutique in here, of course. And we'll expand one day, but this was just a little starter for me. I started up doing like the pop-up shops at like the vendor events. That's where like my first stuff was that I sold. And then I got the website set up. So I'm trying to manage all that and then be my bakerista over here. So
Now, are you guys going to be at the Patty's Day thing?
yeah, we'll be open.
Okay.
We'll be open here. We
Yeah.
won't be down
Yeah,
there
I
though.
guess so.
Yeah,
Y'all
we
just
won't do
happen to
a
have a
pop-up
business
store.
on Main Street. So,
So-
y'all are straight.
I'm wondering how busy we'll be though with it being like down
it's
there.
going to be
Well, a
out
lot of
there
people
all day.
park at
Probably busy.
Boyd's, so I'm wondering.
There's
if
no
Yeah.
way
It
that
will be-
people aren't going to come here.
We'll be slammed all
There's
day.
nothing. Yeah,
this whole case is
You've
gonna
already
be
got
green.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
cupcakes up there.
I know
Everything's
we're gonna
gonna be
make so
green.
much green stuff. Those are fake, but
I'm so excited.
those green cupcakes are fake. Yeah.
God, I was going to
Yeah.
snatch one.
You're a leprechaun one?
So Happy Soul, that's a brilliant marketing name.
Thank
by the way.
you. So that came from just my Instagram handle. So it's something I used to say to my oldest. He'll be 13 this year. When he was young, my other ones were like babies. I had 2 back to back and then a third or a fourth. But I would always say like, "How's your soul today? Is it happy?" Like I would just like say like,
Yeah.
"How's your soul?" And he would get out of the car in the morning and I'd say "Happy Soul," like to say bye or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
were 5 happy
And then
souls.
I was
on
5 happy souls
Instagram.
on Instagram for
Now you're 6
years,
happy
and then we
souls.
had Hayes, our youngest, and I changed it to 6 happy souls. So when it came time to name the boutique, it just like
Okay,
it just made sense. I was like
Yeah.
happy soul.
It's
That
so
is-
cute and it's
awesome.
catchy.
I'm a summer girly, so it's all like coastal themed. I just love summer. And she told me what's that thing you sent me the other day? Solar powered. She was
Oh,
like, all the
yes.
solar powered girls are coming back to life, and
Yeah.
I was like, I feel so seen
She,
right
like,
now.
Completely
I'm-
goes like recluse in the
If
winter.
the sun
and
is
I
not
thrive in the
out,
winter.
neither am I.
You know,
I'm away.
that was
I'm a
like
winter girly.
one
I'm
thing
not a
that
winter
I would
girl.
I would not do in the military. They
Yeah.
were there when I went to reenlist. They're like, "Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?" And
Hawaii.
I was like, "Hawaii," and I was like,
Send me.
"Not Alaska. I will never
Tropical.
do it
Oh my
because
God.
because of
Take
it's
me
the-
to Alaska.
and
Bears.
It's no
Absolutely
joke.
not.
I mean, the percentages of like depression and
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
divorce
You get the
and
winter
stuff
blues.
up
You
there.
get some pretty
so
bad.
She has to
Very
check on
real.
I
me
just thrive.
during
I go
winter.
outside with my donkeys and it's cold and I'm just like
Donkeys.
Yes, I have donkeys,
How
many
goats,
donkeys?
and chickens. I have 2 miniature donkeys.
She's a little
Janice
farm
and
girl.
Joey.
Oh my
They're
god,
the best.
that is awesome.
So that's how I named my podcast. What's happening with Carolina Chuck? We had this round table with NBC. They're like,
Yeah.
let's call it. They're just coming out with crazy names, and then like they were serious about this one. They said, "How about Chuck around and find out?" And I'm like,
I would have.
that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
would've
come
loved
on.
that.
I'm like, dude, this is. I was like,
That's catchy.
up there. I was like, I got a lot of fans that are like old ladies and kids, you know. And then I say what's happening all the time. When I see somebody, I say, "Hey, what's happening?"
Cool ball.
Is
And
this place haunted?
Gosh.
It's old.
I mean,
Don't answer that
Anyway,
question.
these buildings are old.
yeah.
you know?
So I was
Yeah.
like, let's just go with what I say. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it just fit
It makes
together.
sense.
Like you know, what I
It
mean?
fits your personality. It's like
Yeah.
my personality trait, you know?
Yeah.
So it
And
just goes.
Well, I already had taxes and all of that linked to this name. So when I did this
Right.
bakery, I'm like, I really don't want to redo all of that.
yeah.
But I wanted it to just be Cakes by Carly because that's what it is on Instagram.
Mhm.
But I'm like, I don't want to go rename all that and redo all that and redo a logo. I already had everything made, so I was like, and everyone knows me as KB Cake. So I'm like, I didn't want to open up a new bakery and then people be
I
like,
would lose that, yeah.
not know it's me and be like, oh, I already get my
Yeah.
cakes done by Carly. I don't want to go to this bakery or something.
I might be wrong too. I mean, this is just an opinion thing, but I feel like our generation specifically, there's a lot more people doing what you're doing, what you're doing, what
Yeah.
you're doing, what
Social
I'm
media.
doing. Well, not yet. I mean, just out there, you said it was a crazy dream of yours.
Yeah.
It's not.
I never
it's
thought it would
it's
be
something
real.
that has turned into
Never.
something.
Yeah, it is.
10 years ago, you're
Yeah.
like, man, I can make a cake better than that.
Mhm.
It's kind of like I was talking about with my wedding photos. I was like, oh my gosh, I could charge people.
Well, it
money
used
for
to just
this.
be like all
Right.
YouTube. Very few were really, really good on YouTube.
Sure.
But now, all over TikTok, there are stay-at-home moms that just start
Yeah.
doing cookies or they start doing cupcakes. And I've watched them from 3 years ago to now and how good they are. So there are a ton of talented people that are just popping up here and there doing this kind of stuff too. So, but it's awesome to watch.
And
I feel
the-
like there's enough room in the world for everyone to do that.
Yes.
I don't,
Yes.
yeah, I don't get
yeah,
upset
the name
about
of the
it.
Yeah.
game is consistency. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you just gotta look. I was doing this time last year and at a kitchen table with just random people.
Yeah.
Then ended up with a freaking #1 TV show in New York.
That's
you know,
awesome.
I mean,
Insane.
like, but you know, it sucks. I had to leave. I was like, golly, but
It is warmer.
It'll happen here again. So.
yeah.
Good on
Yeah, I
Clover.
think
Clover's
I think
booming, you know. So.
Yeah, that's
A lot
exactly
to talk
It's
about.
coming up.
A lot of
exactly
people
what
to
I
talk
said.
to.
Yeah.
And they got to where, I don't know. I seen stuff going on back home. I was like, man, and I'm doing like charity stuff up there, and I'm like, man, I could be doing this back home. I mean, I felt like I was playing Major League Baseball in Mexico. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like, does that make sense?
Out of
Yes,
place.
I
Yeah,
get
like
Yeah,
you
I
just
mean, I was
felt,
kind of out
you
of
felt
like
out
it
of
wasn't
place,
for
yeah.
the home team. You
Yeah.
know what I
Right.
mean? But
Yeah.
I don't know. It was cool. Whatever. Whatever. But
back.
yeah, I'm back. And honestly, I really missed it. I was homesick. Like
Yeah.
everything was cool, and then you go home and it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then Christy's dad ended up passing away, so and then I'd have to come back down here and check on my dad, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just the right time.
Yeah.
We got the heck out of there. Now I'm back at this dealership down here, which is it's a really cool spot.
Yeah.
Really high on integrity and stuff. I like it.
It looks like you're doing good over there.
Yep.
Yeah, so far so good.
That's another staple of the Clover community.
It is.
It is.
It
I've gotten
is.
all of our cars from there.
Yeah, so has my family.
time.
Everyone knows everyone
Yep.
there. That's what I like about Clover.
So-
Everyone keeps
Very.
it.
What do we
Everyone
need?
knows everything.
What's next? What do you guys want in Clover? This is just, I love asking this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
People will watch this and hear it, and they'll be like, man, that might be a good idea. Maybe I ought to put that up to town council or something. What do
Yeah.
you guys?
Well, the one
think?
next door to us is empty too.
Yeah, the
We've been-
church
Should go
next
there.
door is empty,
Yeah.
but Justin wants to turn it into like a steakhouse because
Mm-hmm.
he wants. There's lots of little bar and grill type thing, finger food type places. He wants like a nice sit down white tablecloth, like steakhouse, like chop house is what he's calling it. So
Was it
That
you
would
were
be
talking
really
about
cool.
Web Kitchen?
I
The
love
parking?
Web
I've still
Kitchen.
never been there.
I know that is, yeah, I
Well,
think 'cause
all
it was
of
in,
this parking is supposed to be changing.
yeah, and that was,
And that
I
would
think
be
it was when we had
nice.
Jason on.
Yeah, yeah,
and
he
we
was
were
talking
talking
about the
about, the parking situation. Listen, man, I'll walk half a mile to
Yeah.
go eat at Web Kitchen. It's
Yeah.
the coolest place.
I've still
It's
never
so
been
good.
there.
It is
I
so
know.
good.
My mom goes there
It's so
all
delicious.
the time. You did?
We went for my birthday this year.
I
and
heard
that's
it
the
was-
first time.
I heard it was really good.
And the
fantastic.
parking is terrible. You can't even
Well,
see
yeah,
the
it's
place.
right in a
Yeah.
downtown
Peter
corner.
Park.
Yeah, it's right
We
down
park
there.
right there.
So
So I think that
the
would
parking
be
here
solve
really does suck
itself.
too. It
Yeah.
really does.
They
But
do need to fix that.
I went to
the sidewalks suck here too.
Make a good
The
enough
parking back
steak and
there
I will-
sucks. They gotta
But
change.
one
it.
thing at a
risk
time.
those.
Like a lot has happened
Yeah.
over the last
And
year,
also in the
it
last
changed a
year,
ton.
this has just kind of like came up.
Yeah.
So it was a dead zone down
Yeah.
here after COVID. There was nothing. So once brick and mortar
years.
opened, it just went boom, 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 boom.
And
Yeah,
from
they
what
really
I
started
understand,
it.
she's also had Margaret's had a very
Mm-hmm.
similar experience. Like she had an idea. We need to get
yeah,
in there
her
too
and
as
Chris
well.
literally just
Yep.
had an idea, and then
And then all of a sudden they're
blew up.
overwhelmed with how
Amazing.
successful the town has showed up
Yeah.
for its
Yeah.
I
people,
became
and
really
that's
good
great.
friends with her because that's where I originally started putting my cakes and stuff. You took
Mm-hmm.
pictures of them when I had stuff there. And she was so overwhelmed at first. She was like, I had no idea. I thought this was going to be just a cute little coffee shop. And it
Sleepy little
blew-
Clover
It
coffee
just
shop.
blew up because that's
Yeah.
what people want here. They want a nice, comfortable, cozy,
Sure.
that
Experience.
aesthetic vibe
Yeah.
of like, oh, I'm going to go get a coffee. It's just
Mm-hmm.
that's what they want. So
What would you say to someone who is got a business idea and that's pretty consistent with it and would thinking about opening up something downtown?
do it.
Yeah.
As long as you have, I feel like one of the reasons I've been this successful is because I did it for so long and I grew that audience and I grew that relationship with people. I don't know. I'm sure any bakery that would just pop up would be successful.
Not to the
but I
extent
don't
that you were,
know
though.
if it would be, if the community would show up this much. But
Yeah.
they have because I've been doing it for them for so long.
They showed
So-
up to support you,
but I feel
and
like
now
if-
it's just word of mouth.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they're spreading it.
But
and
if
it's
you
turned
have like
into-
a good, audience
Relationship.
and you've been doing it for a long time, I feel like, but I'm not sure how businesses do if they just pop open. But then again, brick and mortar they had no followers, no social media, nothing.
That's true.
Had
They
an
opened
idea
up and it was bam. So you never know with Clover, honestly.
Man, you know what they need to
Like
do?
My brother's
I
making
need to rip that
hats.
and make a studio.
I know.
Take
dude,
my
that's
studio
what-
from out
There
there,
you
put it
go.
out there.
They have the little
rent it
That
out.
would
I've
be
already
amazing.
tried with the thing on the other side of town.
But my brother's making hats for Clover, and he's like, "How many should I buy?" And I was like, "It could be 50, or you may need 1,000. Like you
Thousands.
don't know with Clover.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
if somebody would have said you're gonna have a line out the door every time you open, I'd have been like, "You're crazy."
Yeah.
Sure.
But you just don't know with Clover. I would have never thought brick and mortar would be. I went in there for lunch today. It was packed, wall to wall,
Yes.
line out the door.
But I feel like
And
people are so
it's
desperate
awesome.
here for something, for
For
life.
something like that,
It's been
yeah.
so many years that we're going across the border to Steel Creek to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
We want
Belmont
to
blew
stay
up.
in our
York
hometown.
blew
All
up
the
like
little
Belmont's
crazy.
beautiful.
Everybody,
oh my gosh,
I
Belmont
feel
is
like
so good.
everybody also chases that like nostalgic
Yes.
feeling of like.
I say it all the
little
time. It's like
cute
we're in Gilmore
towns
Girls.
and-
You probably
Yes.
watch that. You have daughters.
I
Gilmore
know,
Girls.
I know what that is.
Like,
I know
hey,
about
Star-
it.
And then
I
like
love it.
Friends
Looks like
with like
that.
Central
Sure.
Perk and all of them
Yes.
going to coffee shops and then Gilmore
your
Girls with
friends
like
and-
I feel like so many people want that. They're you know,
It's a
you
good
get tired
feeling.
with the hustle and bustle of life that you want a little town to go to.
Yeah.
Well,
Just,
and I
I
mean,
don't
just
wanna drive 20
45
minutes
minutes
away.
away, 30 minutes away, they see it
Yeah.
all day,
Yeah.
every day.
Exactly.
That drive over the Buster Boy Bridge is
Don't wanna do it.
outrageous, and going
is.
for anything over there
Yeah.
is just so much more tedious.
And then York, I'm telling you, York became a cool little town.
Yes.
Their little
Mhm.
downtown.
It's
I mean,
adorable.
they
we-
have the cutest little
I
shops.
love their
down there.
lights.
They do.
Every time I drive through it at night, I'm like just looking at all the twinkling
And I
lights.
love,
it.
how they have like the Christmas thing down there, the
Oh,
Yorkville
yeah.
Christmas.
Yes.
One of my
And
favorite
Clover's doing that
pictures
too.
was
They
of
have
the
Christmas
Sylvia's.
on Main now. Like I love that they get involved with all the stuff for
Yeah,
holidays.
I mean, we got
It's
a
the best.
town too. Well, we can do
Yeah,
that.
man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
We got people and places.
Right.
Yeah. We got lights.
I'm curious to see how the food truck Thursdays are going to be for us.
I know. Yeah, but how
gonna be
later?
crazy.
We got to figure out our hours.
Could you stay open later? Have some teenagers working.
Second
Yeah,
shift.
man,
all
there's
our kids are
a
in
slew
sports.
of them around
There's so many
town.
teenagers
Oh
that
my
want to work
gosh.
here, especially in the summer. So that's when
have
that
to trust
is
them by
popping.
themselves.
Yeah, as long as Katie's
So-
here. Katie's
Yep,
the girl
Katie's
that I
great.
hired.
Katie was
she
here
was one that's here
earlier.
today. I
Yeah.
love her. Yeah, she just jumped right in.
And her daughter Kimmy works.
And I've been
here.
making cakes
doing
for
great.
her mom, Katie's mom, for years, long time. So I posted on
She
Facebook
said
for
that, but
like.
what does that mean? How
What do you mean?
like how many cakes you?
Oh God, I
does
don't know.
she, like,
Candace,
go
her
through
mom,
cakes
she's
like crazy.
Yeah, she's ordered a lot. She has a younger sister, Scarlett, who's Demi's age, my daughter.
Uh-huh.
She'll be 8. I've made her a lot of cakes
Yeah.
since she was young.
Just one
So
of those
I probably made
relationships
Katie
you're talking
cakes
about
since
earlier.
Not
Katie
just
was young too.
birthday cakes.
Yeah.
It's like cakes for holidays,
Yeah,
baby
anything.
showers, like
Yeah.
graduation parties.
Yeah, Candace
like,
is
it's all
she's one of my
random cakes,
regulars,
too,
so- But yeah, Katie, I posted briefly on Facebook for like 2 seconds, and I said it was the
Yeah.
week after we opened. I was panicking. I'm like, I need a teenager, someone who's quick, fast learning, that just can jump in.
I got
And
your
within,
dog.
Like
I know.
2
Yeah.
seconds, Candace messaged me, and so I deleted the post because I didn't want to be like bombarded.
Right.
And
So
I
bombarded.
know of her family and stuff, so I was like, I would love Katie. Bring her on.
Yep.
And then she was supposed to come that one week, and I told her mom, I said, let's hold off this week. Because that was the grand opening, and I didn't want to throw
That was
her in.
overwhelming. It was
And
a
I
lot.
was like,
Right.
I don't want her to be like, absolutely not. This
Yeah.
is crazy. I'm not. So then we brought her in the next week, and I thought it was going to be slow.
And it wasn't.
No.
How many days are like? I mean, I guess just the baking days. I mean, are
We start Monday, prepping stuff Monday.
Yeah.
We bake throughout the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
sure.
and then
Doors
we
open Thursday.
Doors open Thursday, but then we continue to bake
Yeah.
throughout that
Right.
too.
We work the rush up here, all of us just handling and doing all the things. And then as soon as the rush settles down, me and her will go back and do more.
Yeah.
Start doing more.
As
There's
the
some things you
teenagers are
can
up here
prep
handling
early
this.
and they're fine, but there's some
Yeah.
things that have to be fresh.
You do
So
it fresh.
like my muffins, I bake them morning of and pop them out here because
Yep.
I don't want nobody eating a 2-day-old
Cinnamon
muffin.
rolls.
Yeah.
The same.
Pastries and all
Yeah,
that
cinnamon
kind of
rolls, like
things.
all that stuff's got to be fresh. So
Yep.
there's a lot,
Yeah.
a lot to learn.
So, what would you say the most rewarding thing so far is? And then we'll wrap it up.
Oh, I would say relationships with the people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
That's
just
for
the
me.
support from the community
support.
has been crazy. Getting on Facebook, the first soft opening and then the grand opening, and seeing it was like nothing but pictures of the bakery over and over and
Yeah.
over
You
from
you couldn't
people
get
sharing.
on Facebook without seeing
All the
somebody
moms
talking
groups
about
I
her.
follow were sharing it. All
Yeah.
the little Clover this and York this, everyone sharing it. Like it was insane.
It's
that I was
a
like,
celebrity. It's
it was
weird.
crazy. I'm not. Don't say
It is.
Yeah,
No,
you
it's
are.
so
Yeah,
weird.
believe me, I noticed.
It was
Town
just it was
celebrity.
I
that
will
was
say
that was amazing to me though. That was like I literally just laid there in bed and I looked at my husband. I'm like, this is crazy. Like this is.
Amazing.
And everyone has been so positive and nice.
So
we had
kind.
one
You guys
woman that
so
was
happy.
not mean to us, but unhappy
real.
over all the hundreds of people that
Yeah.
we've seen. And it's like everyone has been
Thousands
so
of people.
nice and happy.
Yeah.
And it's been that's
Well, you guys have
most
definitely
rewarding.
given something to the community, and that is awesome to see.
Yeah, it's been great.
Thanks, Corey.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
All right, thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Do we clap?
Do we
Yeah.
clap? Do we clap?
Again.
Okay, guys.
Thanks, Charlie.
So,
Thanks, Josh.
yes, absolutely.
Y'all come back and see us and get some Macs. And don't open time.